Hey guys, so today I thought I would do just a good old-fashioned shop my stash. I have been doing so many new foundation reviews lately, and I even have another one that I was going to do today, and I was like, let me just give it a rest. Let me just give it a break. I've been doing a bunch of declutters. I've been kind of rediscovering some things in my collection that I would love to use again. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be poking around my collection and pulling out some things that I love and just haven't used in a while. So let's go ahead and start with foundation. All right, so we're starting with my primer and my top foundation drawer. And I remember when I was going through my declutter, this foundation stood out to me. I have not used this in a while. This is definitely something I don't know, would reserve for the warmer months, but I just loved this really light, natural coverage. It's just what I've been in the mood for lately as well. And I have not used this in a while, even though I've used quite a bit of this. But anyway, I thought we would go ahead and use this today. Yeah, these are some new ones. Yeah, I think we'll go with the Chanel Le Beige. I don't think I need a primer, so I'm gonna skip the whole primer step. We'll go jump down to concealers. And let's see, so the Water Fresh tint is very, very light coverage. So I don't want anything too strong. So this one I've been using a lot lately. So we don't want to use that. The Ilia is good. Wow, this one is good too. I have not used this in a while. So that is a definite option. The Chanel actually has some decent coverage, so I'm going to skip that. The Oma one has a lot of coverage, so I'm going to skip that one. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with this Armani Luminous Silk. Not that this has super light coverage, but it's a little bit less coverage than some of these other ones. So yeah, I think we'll go with this one. Okay, next up, powder. And I think I want, a powder with a little bit of something in there. I usually go for a demi satin kind of powder. Like my Kogan Dough is my favorite. The Clé de Peau is pretty matte. These Lancome ones are either matte or they have quite a bit of shimmer. So I'm looking for something that's kind of in between and something I have not used in a long time. You know what? I haven't used this Givenchy in a while. I got this one first, and then I picked up this one. This shade is Satin Blanc, and this one is Vol Rosé. So yeah, I think we'll use this one. This one has a really nice, lovely, very, very kind of subtle satin sheen to it. So we'll use this loose powder. All right, I just pulled out my bronzer drawer, and I remember going through this when I was decluttering, and I kind of forgot all about this Bobbi Brown Stone Street bronzer. It's a matte bronzer, which you guys know, not always my favorite, but I love this bronzer. Something about the tone of it, it just works so well. Definitely one of my favorites, and I have not used this in a while, so I think I'm going to use this one today. All right, here is one of my blush drawers. I have some Ofra, Kosas. These are the Laura Mercier, NARS, some Chantecaille, which I just used. Some Dior, which I feel like I use often. Oh, the Givenchy. Well, I'm already using a Givenchy powder. I feel like I need to spread the love a little bit. Sisley, I feel like I use. Maybe a Jill Stewart. I love these. I haven't used this in a while. Oh, or maybe this RMS. This is a gorgeous blush, and I really haven't used it much since I hauled it for you guys. Let me see what else I have. You guys know, how much I love blush, so so many good options. Here's my other blush drawer, just so we know what else I've got here. The Lancome I just got. Oh, here's the Hourglass blush that I actually wanted to move over here. I don't know why that one was all by itself, so maybe I'll move this over here, and then maybe I'll move the RMS one over here actually. Okay. Anyway, sorry, little reorg. Oh, this NARS actually belongs over, yeah, this one belongs over here. Tom Ford, I haven't used my Tom Ford in a long time. In a really long time. I think I want to use that Frantic Pink. Yeah, let's use Frantic Pink. This is so beautiful. Oops. Isn't that great? It's like the perfect pinky peach. All right, this is 1 out of 3 highlight drawers that I have, and I have not actually gone through a declutter of my highlighters yet. So I don't know what's in here. Oh, we have a bunch of Chantecaille in here. We have an old Gucci one that I really, really love. What are these guys? Oh, Becca ones. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Oh, this old Estee Lauder. PYT. This is the Melt. Holy smokes. Yeah, I have a lot of highlighters. I've forgotten about all of these Melt ones. The Nabla one. Oof. God, these are all good. Oh, that Bobbi Brown is so good. Okay, here's another one of my drawers. I'm trying to find one that I just really, really loved and just completely forgotten about it. I mean, you know, I do love all of these. That's a Burberry, which I just talked about. Maybe I will use this NARS because, yeah, I love these. Wow, I can't get them out. Hold on. Yes, Fort de France. This I really, really loved, and gosh, went pretty hard with this. All right, I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, it's been a long time. Okay, so in terms of eyeshadow, wow, I have a lot of quads like Charlotte Tilbury, Chanel, Tom Ford quads, and then I have like, I don't know, medium-sized and smaller palettes over here. And then some larger, you know, Natasha Denona. But I think I know what I want to use, and it's not actually over here in these eyeshadow drawers. It's actually down here, and I think I want to use my Surratt shadows. I have not used them really in quite some time, and I love them, absolutely love them. So yeah, I think we can do a nice, beautiful, chic look with some of these colors. Oh, isn't that great? I love that shade right there. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna take out this palette. And then for lips, so many options. Wow, I haven't used the Bond number 9 in a while. Suku, Bobbi Brown. Oh my God. Let's see. So this is my second lipstick drawer. Let's go down to my first one. This one, which I feel like I'm constantly decluttering because because you're looking at it. It's just crazy all the time. But I do throw my newer ones in here. So all the ones on top that you see are relatively new, relatively used. I think, you know what? I'm gonna go back to that other drawer. And I think I want to use one of these Natasha Denona ones because I haven't used these in a while and I love them, and I could maybe play around with the new lip liners too. So let me pull out all of these lipsticks and we'll choose a color. All right, so these are the 5. These are like the 2 newer ones. I'm kind of leaning towards this one in the middle here, which is ironically named Michelle, but with 2 L's. So I think I'll pull this one out. Okay, I think I'm really happy with my choices, and I think everything will go well together. So, woo, I'm excited. All right, so we took out the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh tint, and I mentioned when I was pulling this out that it's something that I just consider using in the summertime and not in the winter, and I don't know why. I mean, it has a light coverage or whatever, and I guess I generally feel like less coverage is a little bit more like summertime friendly. I feel like I need to stop thinking that way because this is just a really moisturizing base, and it does have very, very light coverage, but it's very moisturizing, which is what I need in the wintertime. So anyway, let's go ahead and apply some of this. And this is that really interesting, I'm not even gonna hold up my hand because it's so runny, but it's that really interesting formula that has those like pigment beads in there that need to break up. So it actually came with a brush, so I know to use it with a brush. I'm just gonna pick some up off the back of my hand and apply to my cheek. Really, really light coverage. I'm sure you guys remember this. And I think some people even just use this kind of as a like a moisturizing primer to foundation. That's how light the coverage is. But I just, you know, I like a really light coverage, so it's perfect for me, and it really feels so refreshing. It really feels like a drink of water for your skin. So I have it in the shade medium light, and it works fine. I mean, it's so sheer that I feel like I could probably use medium. I could probably use light. I feel like the more sheer a foundation is, the wider of a range it's suitable for. So anyway, I'm using medium light, and it's fine. All right, so I end up with like a really nice kind of glow. Again, something I really need in the wintertime. My skin has been feeling really parched, so this is really, really great. Let's move on to concealer. And I pulled out the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer, which I enjoy, and I really have not, I don't think I've used in months. So I'm excited to whip this back out. I have it in the shade 4.5, which is the shade that I have or have used in the Luminous Silk Foundation. So I just kind of went with the same one. And I remember thinking, you guys can probably see it, that it's fine, but it doesn't do a lot of brightening under the eyes, which is okay. I don't always need like a much lighter eye area. It's something I generally prefer, but you know, not a big deal. And this one is definitely, you know, just kind of close to my actual skin tone. It's, you know, not much lighter. So if you have a similar skin tone to me and you're looking for something more brightening, then I would definitely go for like 3.5, something in the threes maybe, or even the twos. So there's the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer down. It's like kind of coming back to me, like all the properties of it. I do remember that it had a decent amount of coverage, but it was not like a high coverage concealer. Definitely wasn't one of those. I would say for a concealer, it's kind of like a medium coverage. I do feel like I see a lot more coverage around my eye area versus the rest of my face after using the Le Beige. And I do remember it having a little bit of luminosity. It's definitely not a matte concealer, and it's nice. I don't necessarily need like sparkles or like a pearly sheen underneath my eyes. I do prefer it on the matter side, but this looks nice. It looks very, very natural, very, very skin-like. And as for powder, we pulled out the Givenchy Prism Libre in number 5, Satin Blanc. And this was the first Givenchy loose powder I ever purchased. I don't know, you would think with this like really pretty packaging and like the 4 chambers, like this would really, really appeal to me. And it does, but I just never really got into it. So I was really happy to purchase this because I was pleasantly surprised at the finish that it gave my skin. It wasn't as matte as I thought it was. Maybe that was my hesitation. I thought it was going to be much more matte, but it actually has a really nice skin-like, very, very subtle, like demi satin kind of finish. And it's really quite lovely. The only thing I don't like is this 4-chamber business. It's just impossible to get like an equal amount of each powder. Not that I think it really matters, but it is a little fussy in that way. So I'm going to use my new Eyeshadow brush. This is brush number 2 from the new Beautylish collection, and it's such a lovely brush. They're so soft. I can't even describe to you how soft they are. They're just very, very soft. So I'm just going to start around my eye area. All right, powder is applied. I hope you guys can see that really kind of very, very subtle satin finish that it gives. And it does such a good job, like just setting down any makeup that needs to be set down. All right, so moving on to bronzer, we pulled out the Bobbi Brown Stone Street bronzer, which is probably one of my favorite matte bronzers. As you guys know, I prefer like a little bit of a sheen to my bronzer, but this one, like the Charlotte Tilbury, these are matte bronzers that I really, really enjoy. So I haven't used this one in a long time. This is probably like the first matte bronzer that I really, really fell in love with. And I'm so excited to be using it today. I don't know why I don't use it more often. So this bronzer is fairly neutral, but you can't, I don't know, maybe you can tell in the pan. It's hard to tell, but I feel like when I apply it to my skin, you see a teensy bit of like a red undertone, which I think is so nice if you're going for like a sun-kissed, not a sunburnt, but a sun-kissed kind of look. I think that red undertone is really nice. It just gives your skin like that heat. So I see a little bit of it when I apply it to my cheeks and my forehead. All right, next up for blush, we picked out the Tom Ford Cheek Color in Frantic Pink. This is definitely one of my favorites from his cheek color line. This one and Love Lust, I think, are definitely some of my favorites. So I'm going to continue using this brush number 2 from the Yano series. I just think it's such a great size. It really, as you saw, it's working for everything. Powder, bronzer, and blush. So I'm just going to continue using this. And this blush has a definite sheen to it. I think you can probably see it in the pan. Really beautiful satin sheen. So moving on to highlight, I pulled out the NARS Fort de France highlight. I went really hard with this highlight when it first came out. I loved it. I love the tone. I thought the formula was really interesting. I think it most definitely ended up in one of my favorites. So I have not used this in a while, but yeah, I really got in there. You can see like almost like chunks of this highlight missing. So happy to be using this again. I'm going to pull out a different brush though. I think I'm going to use my Sonia G Worker fan brush. This is her fan brush with the blue handle. Oh, it picked up a lot of product. So pretty. It's like a light champagne color. Oh, it's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Look at that sheen. Oh, it's like perfect match for my skin tone. As for eyebrows, I really didn't like pick something out with you guys. I just always use the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel, but I do have my Chantecaille waterproof brow definer sitting here. So maybe I'll use this because this is definitely one of my favorites, one of my favorite brow pencils. And they had sent this to me and they sent over Light Taupe, which is not a shade I would ever choose for myself, but it works. It actually works really well. So it's one of those angled pencils, and I think you can see the color of that light taupe there. It's just surprising that it works for my really dark hairs, but it does. It just adds that like little bit of shadow that I need to just make my brows look a little bit fuller because I have, you know, long eyebrow hairs, but they can be a little bit sparse in spots. So this light taupe is really great just to kind of fill in. And like I said, like just kind of give the appearance of like shadow. All right, next up for eyes, I'm so excited. We pulled out the Surratt shadows that I have, and I have quite a few over here. And the neutrals that he has in his line are just, oh, they're so rich. You know, if you're a lover of like neutral taupey shades like I am, oh my gosh, you can't go wrong with any of these. So let me see if I can find some neutrals with like different finishes to them and I will pull them out. All right, I pulled out 4 shades. This one is, I'm gonna flash the name of the shadow on here. I can't pronounce it. Bien cute, whatever. I'm gonna flash it on the screen for you. This one is Zybeline. Again, I will flash it on the screen, but this is like a beautiful metallic taupe, and this one is one of the matte shades. It has a little bit of peachiness to it. And then I pulled out Truffe, Truffe. This is like a nice matte deep brown. And then I pulled out a glittery shade. This one is called Star with 2 R's, and I thought I would use this as a topper. So I've got this Surratt Classic eyeshadow brush. I'll list it down below which size it is. I think it's a medium, but he does not label his brushes on the handle, so I'm not positive, but I think this is the medium classic eyeshadow brush. And I'm gonna go into that first shade that I pulled, and I'm gonna brush this all over, or really just kind of like the inner corner over the center of my lid. Just adds a little bit of warmth to my lids here. And then I'm going to take that second shade, I'm just going to use the same brush, and I'm going to start on the center of my lid and move out towards the outer corner and kind of drag it in my socket line area here. Then I'm going to take this deeper brown matte shade, the Truffe Truff shade. And I'm just going to dip like the tips of this brush into this shade and just drag it along my lash line. And I'm actually going to take that second shade and do the same thing with my brush. Just kind of dip the bristles into it, the tips of it, and just drag it underneath my lower lash line. All right, and I'm going to take Star now, and I'm just going to use my finger and tap this on. It's a beautiful glittery topper. All right, that's it for eyeshadow. I love these shades, just really understated. I think very, very sophisticated. I think it works for day, and I think the little sparkles make it really pretty for evening. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and curl my lashes, and I'm gonna apply that Chanel mascara. I don't have any like oldies but goodies mascaras because that's kind of gross. So I'm just gonna be using that new Chanel, the Volume de Chanel that I've been loving. It's that shade 120 Metal Terracotta, I think is the name, but it's definitely number 120. All right, and as for lipstick, we pulled out the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude shade number 12 NB Michelle. And I wanted to pull this out because I've really been loving her lip liners, her new lip liners. And I thought this shade would go really well with Julia, if I can find it. Yes, with Julia. So let me just take a look here. Yeah, I think that's gonna go really well. So I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with Julia. I need to sharpen this. All right, lips are lined. I'm gonna go ahead and apply Michelle. And Michelle is definitely a bit lighter, but I think once you kind of blend the two together, you get this kind of nice, almost like a nice like ombre where Julia acts like a contour for the lips. Ooh, nice nude lip. If you're into like a cool nude lip, this is a great combo, Julia and Michelle. Like I said, it's not a perfect match. Julia is definitely a little bit deeper than Michelle, but I think that makes for a nice contour. It'll really like make your lips look plump. All right, guys, that is it for this Shop My Stash. That was so much fun. I really like revisiting old favorites and, you know, playing with makeup that I have not used in a while that I love so much, like this Chanel Le Beige. I really feel like it does such a good job just kind of like blurring and perfecting the skin without a lot of coverage. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it too. Please let me know if there are some oldies but goodies that you spied in my collection as I do my declutters that you would like me to use in a future Shop My Stash. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.